Alright, so this video is going to be a little choppy. I'm trying to record and play a unoptimized build. That said, um, what I'm going to show here is something I started work on last night. Um, this is a very, very rudimentary implementation of an idea I had after spending about 2 years trying to work with Unity's terrain tools and exploring different technology, or excuse me, plugins for managing foliage inside of Unity. Um, if you know anything about Unity's terrain system, then you'll know that it's notoriously inefficient, especially when it comes to foliage. Um, One of the biggest problems being that there's just a lot of foliage to render to make a game look good, especially when it comes to Unity. What you're looking at here in the video, and I'll resume playing here in a second. What you're looking at here is my attempt to solve this issue by pooling foliage assets ahead of time. So rather than trying to instantiate hundreds of these things at runtime and putting a lot of strain on the GPU and the CPU in that sense, what I am instead doing is I am instantiating all of my prefabs at awake, and then as the character moves through the environment, those prefabs are then placed around the character. Now, right now, everything is random. I imagine with a little bit of math and good coding, I can probably get this set up so that trees and grass are placed in a more consistent manner, and eventually tie this into terrain layers so that as we move through the terrain, we only have things placed on like the grass terrain here rather than just this dirt terrain. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play and just kind of show this off. So this is a dense forest, irrespective of Unity's terrain size, irrespective of the detail map. Um, Grass is, something I'm still kind of working on. It's not as dense as I would like it. Um, some of that may just be, a matter of figuring out how best to place the grass. Now, this is all being done with raycasts. I basically calculate a point like 200 meters in the air and then do raycasts downwards to intersect with the terrain to determine where to place everything. I would have probably eventually tie in ground scatter rocks, not just the foliage. Um, but as of right now, this has proven to be a more efficient method than just relying on Unity's terrain details, especially when it comes to the trees. With the trees and eventually the grass, I can actually have dense forests regardless of what the terrain detail density is in the height map and splat map and such. So this is what I want to develop, and I'm looking for anybody who is willing to help work on this solution. I will share all of my code and eventually release the entire solution for managing terrain foliage in this way. So yeah, this should, if everything works exactly as I'm expecting it to, it should also work with origin shifting. So that's going to be a big thing. So yeah. Nice thing about this is it also allows, just regular object instance, like GPU instancing as far as I know. You don't have to do anything fancy with GPU instancing, and you can also use just regular old terrain shaders And if you have imposters added, that's another bonus to performance on something like this. You no longer have to rely on terrain billboards or specialized shaders. So, yeah. Anybody who is interested in co-developing a solution like this, please let me know. I would be more than happy to include you in the workflow and share all of my code, and then eventually get everything released publicly so that the average indie dev can have a solution like this for their games. I feel like this would be a great solution for especially open world games that don't require the player to have trees that can be cut down. Although, if we can get it based upon a seed, some of this could probably be done to such a degree that we can actually start kind of storing trees in very specific locations with specific states. I don't know. We'll have to see. The fact that I can do this and record at the same time is pretty staggering. Even just this rough implementation here, as janky as it is. So yeah, that's it.